As our councilman, you rely on your advisors to give you information you need to make important decisions for our town's good. Unfortunately, even with the best of intentions, the advisors cannot always provide all aspects of that information. So I would like to broaden on what you've been told and hopefully show another perspective, that of the downtown business owner. I encourage you not to believe a word of what I have to say, but to question other business owners, their customers, and your constituents to verify it. Despite what's just been said, our downtown is dying. Many years ago, the decision was made to renovate the Opera House and to use that as a catalyst to revitalize the downtown. Revitalization is a process that continues until the area is revitalized. Unfortunately, this process seems to have come to an abrupt halt once the Opera House was complete. I guess it was assumed that the revitalization would happen spontaneously once the Opera House was functional, but this was not the case. Revitalization has gone backwards from what we have seen. What the business owners see is that 50% occupancy rate in downtown, with more businesses closing every month. We see an area where half of the abandoned storefronts are for sale or for lease, and it's rare that they do either one. We see a dwindling customer base, fewer events that help our businesses, and no effort being made to turn the tide. We see an area that is regressing to the pigeon shoots. For every business that closes, the remaining owners see their hope diminished and their businesses suffer even more. This is not due to the economy. This is due to complacency and the loss of vision. So the bad news is these problems are prolific and they are severe. The good news is there are many solutions, and they could stop this immediately and would actually be very simple to enact. All we need to do is collectively define our vision of what the downtown should be and to pick which solutions will get us to that goal. I will start with the most insidious and ongoing problem that we've been plagued with. We have an overly zealous police force that is not engaging in the letter of the law. For instance, owners have had many customers who are stopped and or ticketed and or arrested with no probable cause. The owners have had many customers who were arrested for public intox who were merely just walking home. We have even had customers arrested for public intox who were standing just outside our door waiting for a cab. This is not the legal definition of public intox. The owners have had customers who, rather than drive, have called their wives or their children to come and pick them up, only to be stopped by police as soon as they pulled out of the parking lot. The drivers have not been in our businesses, they've had nothing to drink, and there is no probable cause to stop them. Yet, it happens frequently. All downtown businesses have suffered tremendously because of these illegal practices. A significant portion of our collective customer base no longer come downtown because they cannot take the chance of an unfair arrest costing them their jobs. We have tried to get people to email you to make you aware of the problem. Unfortunately, these people feel that they've been treated unfairly by one official entity of the city, and they are reluctant to trust another entity of that city. I can't blame them. Another problem that we face is those of us in the food and beverage business pay a 2% hospitality tax each month. You are told that the customers pay this cost. That could not be more untrue. The truth is, in addition to sales tax and the 2% hospitality tax, we also pay 1% capital projects tax, 3% for credit card usage, and a 5% liquor tax. We are now up to 17% in fees, and we have to keep our prices competitive. We are not in a city that is large enough to charge a price that's high enough to cover this. So the business owners pay this fee out of their pocket. 2% may not sound like very much, but ask anyone who is in the real estate business or who make their living off of 2% of commission of a sale, and they will tell you that it adds up. I feel it's unfair burden to place on carefully selected businesses while other businesses are not required to pay. You call it hospitality tax. The downtown business owners call that the money that we would have otherwise used for health insurance. So now they do without that basic necessity. We would gladly pay this tax if the monies collected were used for the stated purpose. That is, to advertise and encourage growth, tourism, and business in the city of Newberry. then the tax money is an investment for all of us. And I'm sure that you've been told that that is what the money is used for. That is not what the business owners see. What the business owners see is that a disproportionate amount of the money is used to promote the Opera House exclusively. When we ask for help, we are told that the city doesn't have the funds. Yet close to $1 million each year is given to the Opera House and Conference Center, a place that also receives additional grants, any number of private donations, part of the 1% capital project money, multiple fundraising events, free advertisement, 200 volunteers, free advantages at every downtown event that is denied all of our businesses, and a mortgage that is paid for by our same businesses that the city says it doesn't have the money to help. And yet, the Opera House can't make a profit. But the business owners who don't get any of these advantages are expected to make a profit. Now let me be clear, I was a season ticket holder at the Opera House until we opened the bar and we started working 7 days a week. I love and respect the service that the Opera House provides. I am a staunch supporter of having it downtown. I just don't understand why other businesses are not given that same respect and appreciation for what they do. The Opera House is one important aspect of our downtown. Just like every other privately owned business, we are each one important and imperative aspect of our downtown. For instance, many of America's downtowns are thriving without an opera house. But how long do you think the Opera House could survive if their patrons had to pay $75 per ticket, eat at a McDonald's, and then drive to a desolate and abandoned area to see a show? Because that's where we're heading. The Opera House is not generating the funds or the tourists to local businesses that you've been told. Please don't take my word for it. Please ask the downtown owners what percentage of their business they would attribute to the Opera House. Other than Stephen W's and Delamadas, I assure you, I think you will be astounded by how low that percentage actually is. Let me tell you about the Blue Moon. Lee Potts and I started the business 9 years ago. We took an abandoned building and invested $1.7 million. We used locals for the vast majority of the restoration. We went above and beyond every single safety code. To my knowledge, it is the only privately owned business with a sprinkler system, all 3 floors. We made it beautiful with granite countertops, hand-tooled wood, and spacious and above-grade bathroom facilities. We installed state-of-the-art sound, video, and computer systems. At that time, and even now, there were 3 places in the entire state where you could find a rooftop terrace bar: Columbia, Charleston, Greenville. Lee Potts made sure that the Blue Moon added Newberry to that impressive list. The Blue Moon was a place where the staff was carefully selected to make sure that all respectful people felt welcome and were treated with respect. It was a safe area to enjoy a band or a game of pool on a beautiful table that is not coin operated. Foolishly, we thought that the city would be proud to have an upscale bar that was well run. 6 months ago, we even looked into purchasing Stephen W's. We were hoping to bring that same attention to detail to fine dining, just as Mr. Fallis always has. Instead, the city now has a major investor that has walked away from their investment and will not invest more into a city that will not partner with them so that we can both be successful. As business people, Potts and I cannot understand that. I can't even imagine letting a major investor walk away without questioning what was going wrong and what do we need to do differently in the future so that this will not happen again. Now let me tell you about all the business owners that are downtown. These hardworking people have invested their life savings into their endeavors. It is not their business, it is their passion. They believe in the service they provide, and their customers have become their family. These owners never expected it, nor did they wish it to be easy. They were committed to working hard to gradually establish their business and to enhance the downtown. Usually, one of them would get an additional job to provide funds and hopefully benefits until their dreams reached fruition. Sadly, the cost of the business kept increasing, and even with one of them having an outside job, they are finding that they cannot make ends meet. They have worked hard, they've been in business many years, these are not novices, and yet they have not spent a single day where they did not worry about money or how they were going to pay their bills.